Chapter 7 shows how good Fortnite are at changing and evolving in the ever-changing environment of the gaming industry. Now, I've been enjoying myself at the Golden Coaster Chapter 7 map and learning about the Chapter 7 storyline. Like the Dark Voyager's Cube Cradle shooting the battle boss out the air and apparently disabling some of the modes. But the battle boss has now returned and even Donald Mustard had to get involved. Although, if you wanted my opinion, I would argue the red cube corrupting lines of reality in the Nexus was probably more responsible for the game modes going effectively offline. But anyway, we now have Blitz and Reload back in the game, with Reload introducing Surf City, which is completely based off the Chapter 7 map. This is kind of the first time in Reload's history that we've had an active map be the influence for the Reload map. Couple of early games, it did feel like I was playing a Chapter 7 map, but I feel like this is unique enough where it stands on its own, taking some of the Chapter 7 POIs, but making some new ones too. I mean, they're effectively all new, but you know what I mean. And first impressions from a builds player, I'm not really noticing anything wrong with the map. Honestly, the admiration for Epic's work rate has to be high. The Chapter 6 map was great, the Simpsons season was excellent, and I loved the shorts that they did in that season. We now have a new Chapter 7 map, we have a new Reload map, new Blitz map, and of course we're going to get a couple OG seasons. They've really handled this chapter launch really well. If I find myself playing another game that isn't Battle Royale, I'm going to probably pick Reload. I just feel like you can strategize and nicely work your way into the game. Now, let's talk about Blitz, which is the polar opposite. And of course, guys, if you are enjoying the content so far, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, today, of course, we had the release of Reload and Blitz. And can I just say, the Blitz map is fantastic. I loved Chapter 5, I know some people didn't, but the map was really good. And I have to say, it kind of looks even better here, because this Blitz map is heavily influenced by Chapter 5 props and material, with a couple elements from Chapter 3 and others thrown in as well. It's a real decent mishmash of chapters. But for me, I hate the fact that it's going to be in Blitz. I just find Blitz to be a lot of noise and it's very aggressive. That's not me saying I'm a noob or anything. Well, it might be actually, because my aim was terrible at this point. Like, what am I doing? Like, what? But I think Blitz just makes me play like that, to be fair. I wouldn't be doing that in a normal game of BR, that you need to work yourself into the game and be a bit more tactful and resourceful. In Blitz, it's just and then the game's miraculously ended. And of course, that's the reason for the game mode. If you don't have a lot of time, quickly jump on for a game of Blitz on any platform, mobile more preferably, obviously that's what the game mode is for, and try and get a victory royale when you don't have half an hour to 20 minutes to try and win a game of BR. Also, a quick thing I want to say, which I haven't really noticed much in BR because it's a longer game, but in Blitz, holy, I see no reason to have the self-revive in that mode. I don't really see the reason for it in solos. It's just, maybe once in a blue moon you can pull off something crazy, but most of the time, it just frustrates me more than it actually makes me want to turn off the game. Maybe I'm being salty, but I'm just like, I would have preferred just to go back to lobby at that point. The knock sound sends shivers down my spine. Honestly, imagine if you're in the final 3 or the final 2 and your self-revive kicks in. That's just humiliation at its finest, which some people might say is a good thing. That's kind of funny if I'm being serious. But I don't even know where this self-revive is even coming from. I must have picked up from one of the supply drops and I didn't notice. I just don't think the self-revive can be utilised as well as it can be in solos or games like this. Apart from the few rarities when you might get a stacked end zone, but I guess it's great if the option is there. I feel like it works better in other games because it's not so obvious. Like, in Call of Duty, it's like just underneath the shoulder where you're sort of like giving yourself adrenaline, when in this mode it's like, whoa, doing like the strongest man competition, you're trying to put the things together. Like, what? Nah. It takes 10 seconds to pop. 10 seconds for the player in front of you to go, well, look at us.
Look at us.
When I could have been going back to lobby and reading up for another game. Or maybe I should give it time and eventually some sort of good strat will come about, and the self-revive will be a lot more utilised in solos. But until that moment, I will probably just be exiting the game immediately after getting knocked. At least in Blitz, most probably. As I said, in BR you might have a chance because there's several more things going on, even Blitz, but I don't see it. But overall, I do like the Blitz map, even though some people might say it's not as vibrant. I mean, that is essentially the point. It is meant to appear a bit drier, and I presume a greener environment. One thing I should mention about this Blitz map is I find it quite middle-centered. So it seems like everyone will cascade to the middle of the map, which is quite open, to be fair. Or lacking some buildings, which the other Blitz map may have left that middle open, but it was a bit more hilly, and there was a... I don't know, I just feel like this is almost like a funnel. But I do stress, this is first impressions of the new Blitz map. But honestly, I know there's probably going to be talk of Fortnite's new peak era, because Chapter 7 has been an amazing start. Now, I was a big fan of Chapter 6. I liked Chapter 6. But I can really see why people will really love this chapter. It started off so well, reintroducing the 7 and the last reality, and the map seems so well made. Seems, I mean, it is very well made. But of course, a chapter isn't a success based on its first iteration of its map. Obviously, we're going to have updates, and I can't wait for the changes. At the moment, the Cube Cradle's gone as well. Like, what the hell's happened there? Where's he gone? Has he gone to OG to pick up links or something? I have no idea. Tell me down below what you think about that one. I mean, for me, Chapter 5 Season 1 was a great chapter launch. Everyone loved the new projectile weapons, and it went down pretty well. But obviously, the aging chapter that was Chapter 5 for many left a sour taste thinking back to Chapter 5 Season 1. Even though, retrospectively, I would argue that was still a very good season, and people really enjoyed it at the time. But now it's kind of tainted for many. So obviously, Epic Games and Fortnite needs to keep going from strength to make this the new peak era of Fortnite, or a new era, kind of like Chapter 2 Season 8 to Chapter 3 Season 2 was pretty big for the Fortnite storyline. But indeed, they have the right foundations to really do that this chapter, and even the Foundation himself is returned at some point as an NPC, so there's that. So yes, tell me down below in the comment section how you feel Fortnite are handling the Chapter 7 launch. Are you still slightly annoyed that you're not seeing your favourite mode OG, if that is indeed your favourite mode? And you still gotta wait to next Thursday, I believe. But overall, I'm loving Chapter 7 and the BR map and the Reload map. I love the Blitz map, but I don't know if I'm in love with the mode, so I'll probably be playing less Blitz than any other mode. Obviously, that could change, but for now, I'll be sticking with Reload, OG, BR, and whatever else apart from Blitz. I'm sorry if you're a Blitz player, but it's just how it is. But guys, consider using creator code Mr. Joy in the Fortnite item shop, MRJOY. Hashtag ad, hashtag Epic Partner. And guys, thanks for watching this one. Leave a like, subscribe to YouTube channel, and until next time, it has been your boy Mr. JOY. Till next time, bye bye.